as the next race is about to take to the circuit. It is the senior category, qualifying heat B versus F. Lewis Hamilton won the cadet race in that one back in 1994, so it shows that the pedigree is very strong here in the world of British karting. Right, engines fire up. Let's take you through the starting lineup for this one. Joe Turney is looking to make it a perfect streak in this one. Can he do it? From the front row of the grid, Scott Lindblom and Loveaway Sam Budler round out row number 2. Round out row number 1. Loveaway Sam Budler and Timo Ramikas round out row number 2. Elliot Kaczynski and Luna Flusha go from row 3. Luna Flusha in the last couple of races has had spins in both. She needs to recover back in this one. Starts on the outside of row number 3. Sebastian Korpeng and Guy Alberghino go from row number 4. They'll have Alpac Soy and Matteo Giaccardi on row 5. Anna Katsani and Tiziana Monza rounds out row number 6. They'll have Matthias Morgato and Guillaume Bazar on row 7. Timo Jungling and Austin Gale go from row 8. But who is this being pushed back into the pit lane? It is Guy Albag, who should be starting P8 on the grid on the 4th row. Now he's got a lot of work ahead of him here. Now that's Flusha's mechanic who's come across now to assist, as well as a smattering of other Kart Republic technicians in there as well, all wanting to come in and assist Guy Albag to get him started. But let's see what happens. Look back further in the grid as well. Guillaume Bazar, Matthias Morgato, row 7. Austin Gale, Timo Jungling on row 8. Davide Bataro and Uthien Deng on row 9. Louis Castellini and Suleiman Zanfari out there. Jakob Kamenek and Harry Hannum. Maximilian Rafalak and Michael Adair. Harley Keeble and Ludovico Busso out on track. Matilda Itzkovic and Hugo Besson. Rylan Eschberg rounds out the field. Now, have they managed to get Guy Albag's kart started? And has he been able to join the back of the grid here? I do not see him out on track. And I do not see him clocking up on my screen. So I think Guy Albag, if that's another attempt and it's not started, he might be out of this race, which would be a big shame for the young driver. He's certainly delivered over the course of this weekend. But as you can imagine, pressure now starting to build up. Eyes fixed on this race as all the drivers make their way round into the final corner. Are we starting this one first time around? Into the tram lines. It looks good. Lights go green. We race, and it's a good start then for Joe Turney at the front of this one. The rest of the field tries to squeeze through. It was a shaky start the last time around. Does everyone get through cleanly this time? The answer to that is yes. It is a good getaway, but everyone there just trying to find a piece of track to themselves as down the inside goes Scott Lindblom for the lead on Joe Turney, and this is the first time that Turney has not led a race, and now through goes Loveaway Sam Budler. His teammate slides into second place, and Joe Turney's on the back foot. A sea of sparks fly out the back of the karts as they exit out of hairpin number 1, and there you can see it is Timo Ramikas trying to fight through the field as well, but Scott Lindblom takes the lead of this one as everyone closes in behind. You can see Luna Flusha closing in. The Mercedes-backed young female driver certainly pushing in this one. She is trying to get involved in this battle, but she's been plagued by spins earlier on in the races. What's going to happen now? Cookland a little slow out the corner there as one of the Fusion goes very wide. I think that may have been Alpac Soy going wide there at the exit of the final corner as Turney retakes second place. And Joe Turney back into that top spot now, but Luna Flusha is right there behind. Scott Lindblom has taken the lead of this one and has broken away, but it's only a gap of 0.4 of a second. Remember, in Turney's previous races earlier on today, he won both of them by a minimum of 10 seconds between himself and second place. Now here on your screen, that looks a lot less than 0.4 of a second, doesn't it? Joe Turney is on an absolute flyer here. He is determined to have a perfect weekend. Okay, it wasn't outright pole position. It was the second fastest, but he certainly delivered in these qualifying heats. He has had 5 out of 6 qualifying heat wins. He's looking for 6 out of 6 here across the line. It is 0.1 of a second between the two of them. Turney, I'm sure, will go for the move on this lap, but Lindblom will defend it. This is where Scott Lindblom got the move done earlier on the exit of the bridge. down the inside, pushing it through, anything in towards hairpin number 1. Yes, indeed, there's a little bit of contact between the two of them, misjudging of the braking zones there. But look at Flucher here. Flucher has found some ultimate pace, and now defensive goes Lindblom. Flucher risks it down the inside, but through goes Turney. Out of the corner, his power he could put down out of hairpin 2 there. Absolutely planted on the floor. And now Lindblom's on the back foot. Flucher is right there for the attack. Can she get a nose down the inside, out to the final corner, back onto the start-finish straight? And is that Lindblom looking down? He was looking down at his engine there, was Scott Lindblom. Has he got a slight mechanical gremlin on board there? Through goes Timo Ramekers in the background there. A sneaky send down the inside of Elliot Kaczynski. Gets that move done as Morgato's got the fastest lap of the race now. Morgato's closing in on this lead group here. Sam Budler's there as well, still in P4. Andy Consani is there as Flucher dives to the inside at hairpin 2. And Luna Flucher is back into P2 in this one and looking for maybe a qualifying heat win. She's not won a race yet this weekend. She certainly got close though with a P2 finish yesterday. Looking to capitalise on it again. A big mistake there for Lindblom. Lindblom through the Mike Wilson complex. He's lost touch now with Luna Flucher. She's broken away as through goes Andy Consani. I think Loveaway Sam Budler was caught out there by Scott Lindblom's mistake and thought, right, I've got to just sit back here on this one because he's making mistake on mistake, and then thinking about it, Consani just went for the move there. And now it's starting to close in on Lindblom himself. Turney with the fastest lap of the race, 56.2. That is a rapid time. Very quick at this stage of the weekend, especially with the conditions that we're seeing there. Again, the rubber is going back down on the circuit now, but look how wet it is off the racing line still. You can't put a single foot wrong in this race right now. And this makes it the hardest thing. Look at the big wet patch there as well. You go slightly wide there and you're done for. And again, as soon as you get on the grass as well, the grass is soaking wet there through turn 1. You can see a lot of the puddles still forming. All fine through the banking here though. Multiple racing lines has opened it up as a big hit into the barrier there, and that is Rylan Eschberg. Rylan Eschberg will go no further in this race, and he's gone straight on there by the looks of it at Bobbygain Corner, and there he goes off the track, and that's what we mean by a wheel on the grass. And for Rylan Eschberg, he's out of this race. Thankfully though, it looks to me like a small contact with the barrier. Definitely will be shaken up, but I don't think too injured from that one. She'll be good to see. Race continuing though. Yellow flag still out, of course, there with the marshals trackside and the driver as well being escorted out of the way. Good to see that Eschberg on his feet. Second place battle though still on. Consani has closed in. Andy Consani here for Sodicart is piling on the pressure now to Scott Lindblom. Lindblom again, who stepped up into the senior category this season. He's in preparation for next year. Of course, stepping up, part of the Red Bull Junior program, like we've mentioned, and of course, sacrificing his junior campaign for the seniors. Here's a replay then on the left-hand side of your screen. Lindblom looking down there, not happy with something on the kart. She's getting through. And there as well, Loveaway Sam Budler just trying to get involved in the background. Now, Sam Budler's gone down to P8 in this race now. Sulaiman Samfari is having a great race in the VDK. He's up 12 places, and he's just behind there, Timo Ramekers. Ramekers has got a large amount of real estate between himself and Luna Flucher up ahead. So, let's see now, across the bridge, Turney leads from Lindblom. Sani from Morgato. Morgato there has had a brilliant race. He's had a quiet race, actually. He snuck up there through the field. Keep an eye on what he can do in this one. If Consani's going to go for the move, you can guarantee that Morgato is going to tag along. for the run. The same with Luna Flusha. She's still right there as well in the top 5. Race is coming to an end now. A moments away from seeing the last lap board out for Joe Turney. May not be the 10-second advantage that he's had in the previous races, but it's still 2.1 at the moment, despite the fact that it being dry this time around. Joe Turney's pace around here has been exemplary. Mistake and wide out of the final corner for Scott Lindblom, and through will go Andy Consani on the last lap of this race. Morgado is going to try and go for it as well. Can't quite get it done on the bridge, stays behind. Flusha is ready there to pick up the pieces. Morgado checks over the shoulder, so does Lindblom. No moves this time around, they stay line astern. Here though, Joe Turney, your race leader. Well, what a day for him. Maximum points he's been looking for, and he's going to deliver it. For Group B, their day is done before they're racing tomorrow, and you can confirm that this young man here will start on pole position for Superheat 1 tomorrow. It's Joe Turney for the United Kingdom. He wins here at PF International. Andy Consani will take second place from Scott Lindblom. Luna Flusha finishes in 4th place ahead of Matthias Morgado. Thibaut Ramekers comes away with a P6 ahead of Luboe Sambudla, Suleiman Zamfari from Matteo Giacardi and Elliot Kaczynski. But for Joe Turney, that is a perfect set of qualifying heats. 6 wins out of 6, maximum points, and he will take the 25 championship points, and they will get added to his tally. And wherever Ramekers is finished, well, Ramekers is in Group F, and for Group F, that's also there. No, they've got one more race to go. Group F will be out later on today, so Ramekers has got another race to try and get as many points on the board as he can to see if he can score championship points in that fight. But of course, if he scores less than that, he might have to think about deploying drop scores again a little later on.